In this video, I will explain you what do you mean by LLM, what is LangChain, also generative AI. The full form of LLM is large language model. So what is large language model? It's an AI model, means it is artificial intelligence model, and this model is trained on vast amount of data of the world. So when we ask a question from LLM, it generates the output based on its training. So there is a LLM, let's say this is LLM, this is an AI model, and this is trained on vast amount of data of the world. Now when I ask question, it will be going to generate me the output based on my question. So based on its knowledge, it will be going to generate me the output. Because it will generate me the new output based on my requirements, that is why it is called generative AI. For example, if I say build a house where walls should be yellow color and the roof should be sky blue color. I want the image of the house like that. So what it will do, it will start creating the walls which are yellow in color and the roof which will be sky blue in color. So according to my requirements, it has generated the output. So this large language model, which is already trained on the huge data, is generating new results for me based on my requirement. That is why it is known as generative AI. So hope you understand the meaning of generative AI, which is also called Gen AI in short. Let me give you more example for better clarity. So you have used Chat GPT. So Chat GPT is an example of generative AI because you ask the question to Chat GPT and it will give you the answer accordingly. Suppose you want an image of a male who is Indian and who belongs to South India, and the age is between 65 to 70. So accordingly it will generate you an image. So that is why it has generated me something new from its training, from its knowledge. That is why I have written it generates the output based on its training. And this is called generative AI. So this is what I have written because based on the question, it generates the new output. That is why it is called generative AI. Let me give you another example of generative AI. Suppose I have a table, employee table, in which employee ID, employee name, sales amount are the columns. And I want a SQL command, give me employee ID, employee name and top sales amount of each employee. So if you Google search, it may give you the link of a website where it may give you how to get the top sales of each employee, but it is not necessary you will get the same columns names. The table name will be different, the column names will be different, but what this generative AI will do, or what this LLM will do, LLM will generate the output based on my requirement. So it will give me exact same output which I want. The same column name it will generate, like employee ID, employee name, sales amount, table name, and the group by command it has used. So based on my requirement, so it has given me the same table name, same column names which I desired. So this is generative AI, that it generates the new output based on my requirements. This kind of thing you might have generated using Chat GPT. Now you will be thinking, what is the difference between Chat GPT and LLM? So Chat GPT is an application. So it is an example of generative AI application, Chat GPT. But behind the scene, Chat GPT is using some model which is called large language model. So Chat GPT is an application which is seen to the end user. but in the background it is using some LLM, which is large language model. So you might have heard there is GPT 3.5, GPT 4, GPT 5. So these are different versions, and this is the name of the LLM. So ChatGPT belongs to a company which is known as OpenAI, and these are the large language models which are developed by OpenAI company, and these are different versions. So if there is an enhancement in the model, it release GPT-4. When more enhancement is done, it release GPT-5. And ChatGPT is the application which end user see. So overall, this is the example of generative AI, because it is an artificial intelligence application which is generating the new text, and ChatGPT, you can say it's a front application through which end user is interacting, but in the background this ChatGPT is using any one of the GPT models. Similarly, we have Google Gemini, which is the competitor to ChatGPT, and they are using different set of models. Then we have Claude, which is developed by Anthropic, and they are using different set of models. So they are competitors to each other. So hope you understand now what is LLM. Now I will be going to explain you what do you mean by LangChain. LangChain is an open source framework that is used to build LLM application. Now I told you LLM is trained on the huge amount of data of the world. So it can answer many questions, but it is not trained on the private data of the organization. For example, you want to know how many service requests which HP company have which are pending for last 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks. So this LLM cannot handle, because this is the HP private data. But you can build LLM application. Through this application, you will expose the private data to LLM, and you can get the answer. So that kind of application is custom application. And these kind of applications are called RAG based applications, which I will explain you in this course. I will show you the demonstration of RAG based application. At the end of the course, there is a whole section on it. So hope you understand this, that LLM cannot answer the question based on your private data. So you are building the custom application, you are doing a coding, and what you are doing, you are exposing your private data to LLM to get the answers of your question on your private data. For making these custom applications, LangChain is used, because this is an open source framework, and this framework will provide a lot of classes and functions. Using those classes and functions, you can build custom applications easily. Now, LangChain supports all major LLMs, all major LLMs like OpenAI. So all the models of the OpenAI, then Google Gemini, the models of Google Gemini, then the models of Anthropic, the models which are present in Hugging Face, which I will also explain you. So what kind of applications you can create using this LangChain? Like you can create chatbot that is called like conversational AI, where you can create question answer kind of application. If suppose some user is asking the question, based on your private data you are providing the answers, then you want the summary of your private data, so document summarizers can be created. Then RAG systems can be also created. The full form of RAG is retrieval augmented generation, and it is also used to access the private data of the organization. And using the RAG system, we expose the private data of the organization to LLM to get the result. So there is a complete detailed section how to build the RAG application discussed in this course. Now, what is the advantage of LangChain? The biggest advantage of LangChain is that it can connect to many models. For example, OpenAI, Google Gemini. Now, suppose you are developing your code or application only using OpenAI. Then what will happen? You have to write the code according to OpenAI. The whole code will be different. And suppose you are connecting to Google Gemini, you have to write different code. So this is, let's say, code 1 and this is code 2. For the same task you have to write different code because these are two different companies, so for them you have to write different code. But in LangChain what will happen, the coding structure remain the same. Okay, the coding structure will remain the same. So one coding you have to use, just in the beginning or a little bit part you have to change. That okay, earlier you were connecting with OpenAI model, now just remove this line and instead of that you are just connecting with Gemini model, but rest of the code will remain the same. So this is the advantage of LangChain. You do not need to write different set of code for OpenAI and different set of code for Google Gemini, different set of code for Anthropic. No, that you do not have to do. Just you have to change a little bit of code. That's it. Rest of the code will remain the same. This is what I have written, that the coding structure remain the same in LangChain. You can only change the part where the LLM is called. That's it. So basically in this course I am teaching you LangChain framework. So what kind of classes are present, what kind of functions are present in this LangChain, and using which how you will be going to develop your generative AI custom application. So this is what you will be going to learn in this particular course. And in this course, each and every code I typed. It is not like I have just pasted the code and I am explaining this code is doing that, this code is doing that. No, I have typed each and every code so that it sticks to your mind, and also I focused on the concepts so that you get a good clarity why I am using this code, what is the need of writing this statement. I have given the explanation of each and every statement. So I have tried to explain the course in very simple terms. So hope you will enjoy it. So this is my target, to explain you the complex code in very simple terms.